Good evening. Welcome in to another edition here on the Blac-Vocracy podcast channel. This is Jabril A. Rashad, real deal, Jabril, aka as I like to say, and this is the platform Metaphors of Love. Are we listening? Again, I want to thank y'all for joining me. We're going live once again, and we will be going live real soon on TikTok. So if you want to go over there, that's going to be cool as well, because the music that I play, sometimes it gets strikes on the platform, on the YouTube as well as Facebook platform. So it's no problem on TikTok. So if you want to, remain on this particular platform here while we stream it, that's cool, no problem. But at the same time, when we get into this evening's song, I'm gonna have to go over to TikTok and take this down, so you won't hear the song, but we'll be coming right back to talk about this. So again, I'm coming to you live, streaming on all of the platforms this evening. And before we get started here this evening, please hit that like, subscribe, share, and notification button for me. And we're going to get into these topics that we want to discuss this evening. This is the Metaphors of Love on the Blac-Vocracy podcast. Okay, so if y'all saw what I posted earlier, actually yesterday, I actually posted a song, a classic R&B song, that we're going to be breaking down, getting into a little bit later. But we want to set the stage with the topic and the title, which is the respecting the power of love, the power of love. We want to talk about that briefly within the next hour and 30 minutes. So again, welcome aboard. I salute you if you're joining. If you had something else to do and you took the time out to come spend it with your boy, I sure appreciate that. So again, before we get into that, y'all please again hit the subscribe, like, share, notification button, because I'm still growing this particular channel. And before I do anything, we're going to get into a little bit of house cleaning. First and foremost, we're going to talk about something that's been rumored and something that's been out there on the social media platform. But before I do that, you know what? I'm gonna go live right now so I can invite the people in on TikTok. Excuse me, y'all. Y'all give me just a second here on this platform here over on Facebook. I want to bring them in and let them know that I'm here also. TikTok is a little bit tricky because sometimes, this is my second time coming over here to TikTok, but we're going to get into it just the same. For those of y'all who are coming on, who can see me or what have you, I'm going to be sharing this platform that I've been doing this show over on Facebook and YouTube. And this is my second show that I'm doing live on TikTok, but we've been doing this show once again for about 3 years. Took about a year off. And so we're back by popular demand. People was asking me about when was I going to bring back Metaphors of Love. So that's what we're doing. For those of you who are new to the show, who don't know what we do on this particular platform, we take the R&B classic songs, we break those songs down, we do the metaphors on them, we try to provide more insights to the song as opposed to just hearing the music. Hearing the lyrics is more important, so we try to do that most of all, providing the symbolism, the allegoricals, and the metaphors to help break down these songs so they can be implemented in your day-to-day life, relationships, so forth and so on. So we will have the song of the evening, which I'll play in just a second, but I want to do a little bit of house cleaning again, as I mentioned already, to those of you who are on YouTube as well as Facebook. Again, welcome in. We are live, and I want to thank you all for joining me. We won't be here very long, for the next hour, maybe 30 minutes, but you never know. You never know. So what we're going to talk about, the house cleaning that I want to talk about, is the rumor that was out there on social media regarding the child's tax credit, and we can talk about it a little bit, but this is not what this platform is really about. Oh, and let me give a little caveat for those who believe or think they can come on here trolling and doing all that. This is grown folks. This is a mature audience only. I have no problem when you start that stuff getting you out of here real quick, because again, I've been doing this show for 3 years. I decided to bring it over to the TikTok platform. So this is what this is about. We're going to try to break this song down, and then hopefully you'll get something out of it, and we'll continue to move. But again, I want to talk about the child tax credit. When I looked that information up, for many of y'all who may not know, there was something that was going around on the social media talking about women being unable to claim their child as a tax credit if they have the father on child support. Yeah, if the father's on child support, you would not be able to claim that child. Well, that's a false claim. That is a hoax. And I know some people were spreading that rumor as well, which, you know, it kind of, you know, brought up a little bit of a conversation, I'm quite sure, for the time that it was out there. But mainly what they discussed, or what was being discussed regarding that, I think is some people misinterpret that information. What it was basically talking about, there was a discussion surrounding the child tax credit, which presently is around about $2,000 for each qualifying child, okay, which could be decreased under Trump's second term if he doesn't move to extend his 2017 tax cut, which is set to expire this year, 2025, as well as the Jobs Act that he had enacted the first time around when he was president. So those things, that's where the clarity, I guess someone heard something in this regard, misinterpreted what was being said, and they ran with it, which oftentimes that happens. Welcome in again, TikTok, welcome in Facebook, welcome in YouTube. We're streaming on all 3 platforms. But again, I had to do a little bit of house cleaning to clear that narrative up, because that's not true. It was a false claim. It was a hoax. So for those mothers who are claiming their children at the end of the tax year, I know we're in tax season now. Yeah, continue to do that. And I guess if anything come about between the next 6 months, I guess it probably won't even affect 2025 anyway. Probably, you know, maybe in the future, maybe 2026. But that was a hoax. So I just wanted to put that out there, because again, we're talking about respect and love on this show, and hopefully somehow, some way, that will be able to formulate some type of communication or dialogue between mother and father, if that was to happen. Because it's going to get, if that were to happen, it's going to definitely get individuals talking, no doubt about that. So I want to say hi to everybody that's coming on and joining me still, and we're about to get into this thing again. Welcome in. I'm going to try to, you know, TikTok, I'm going to try to bring you all up on this platform that I'm doing. Love to hear from you guys. Again, be patient with me. This is the second time that I've actually did this. I started last week, so I'm going to be trying to bring you all. There was a lot of people that wanted to get on last week, and I was having a little bit of technical difficulty, so to speak, trying to work this thing out with TikTok. But for whatever reason, trying to do this all simultaneously, man, it was giving me some blues. So anyway, I'm going to continue to try to work that platform. So again, this is the Metaphors of Love Are We Listening platform. We're going to break this song down. I'll play this song, and then I'll invite everybody in to make comments. But let me set the background for it. We're talking about a song that was actually sung in the early to mid 80s. And this song was performed by a beautiful sister by the name of Miss Stephanie Mills. And it was called I Live to Respect the Power of Love. I live to respect the powers of love. And in the first few lines, she said, I was a victim of my foolish thinking. Carelessly, I've risked my love and my life. There's no self-pity. I admit I obliged. Overpowered by love, I pretended to be blind. So we're going to discuss that, all right? TikTok, all right? Facebook. So let's get into it. Give me just a moment here. Let me set this thing up. Oh, let me just put this, for those of y'all, again, who are on Facebook, bear with me for just a second. I got to take it down because, again, they do give strikes on this particular platform, but they don't do it on TikTok. So if you have a TikTok account, you want to come join us over there real quick to hear this song, I will be back. Feel free to do so. Okay, feel free to do so. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. There you have it. There you have it. Welcome in. I see people still coming on to Facebook right here, but we just went live here on TikTok with the song performed by Miss Stephanie Mills, Live to Respect the Power of Love. That song right there in and of itself says a lot about love, respecting the power of love. And unfortunately, too many people disrespect the power of love. So I think that's one of those songs that really needs to be broken down to its basis. There are many love songs we can actually talk about, but this one particular song, when she sung this song, it carries a lot of weight because it really addresses the other ways that love can be powerful. And there are ways that love can be powerful, and we're going to speak about a few of those things. But again, in the first opening, I repeated this earlier when she states that I was a victim of my foolish thinking. She was foolish in her thinking. It wasn't the other individual, it was within her thinking. And a lot of times that's really what takes place. So again, I want to open up the platform and I want to get y'all take on this particular song, and then I'll come back and make my implement my comments regarding it. And then we'll play one more song, and then we're going to close out the evening. But again, if I'm doing anything, if y'all can hear me on TikTok, please let me know, because again, this is my second time trying to do this thing live on TikTok platform, on the platform, Facebook, YouTube. I have absolutely no problem because again, this is a 3-year running show, and I decided just to bring it over to TikTok since I see that a lot of the TikTok gets a lot of traction, and I can play the music without having these strikes or whatever. So again, I want y'all to chat out for me as we normally do here on this particular platform, Metaphor of the Lord, while we listen on the Blac-Vocracy podcast. Please go over to subscribe, like, share, hit the notification button for me. But respect the power for love. Again, she was foolish in her thinking. Carelessly, she said, I've risked my love and my life. She risked her love and her life, and she had no self-pity. There's no self-pity. I admit I obliged, meaning that she allowed it to happen. She allowed it to happen, right? And she was overpowered by the love, and she pretended to be blind. So when you pretend, that means you simply giving a false appearance. It's really not you. How many times do we actually do that? In relationships, we first meet the person, we meet their representative, and again, we pretend that we're something that, something that we're not, something that we're not. So that's what she's speaking to more than anything. But again, I'm going to try to invite people to come up on the platform here on TikTok. Give me just a second. Facebook, I know that I have some of y'all here with me live, but if you don't mind, go ahead and chat out. Again, we're talking about the song Live to Respect the Power of Love by Miss Stephanie Mills. Let me see. I'm hoping I'm doing this right, because I'm definitely inviting. So I want to, give a big shout out to those of y'all who are coming on with me in TikTok. Shout out to Marcy. I see you join me live. Thank you. Let's see here. Let me give a shout out to my boy Ivan. I see you out there in the audience with me, man, live. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me again. Let's see. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, you're talking about the music that's being played. Someone is talking about the soft music that's being played. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna talk about these R&B classics, because I think a lot of the R&B classic songs have so much depth to them, so much power into them. These songs, I think, has a lot of substance. I think these songs, when you look at the the whole grammatical structure of these songs, the way they was written, behind the meaning of what they was, how they was written, I think it definitely plays a vital role today. And I think that it can, if people take the time out to be patient. Again, this is a grown folks, mature audience platform. That's what we want. At least that's what we're inviting. We're trying to, speak about what everybody else is talking about. I know this is not the only platform, but I know a lot of people talks about, relationships, There's no one size fit all. We understand that we're human beings, but we have to try to have some type of breakthrough. And again, if those of you all who wasn't on earlier, we spoke about the house cleaning that I was doing regarding this child tax credit thing. And I thought about it. I said, I'm gonna mention it just the same, because again, if something like that were to come into play, I definitely believe that it will allow the parents, both parents, the mother, the father, to start talking again. And it's funny, because I was sharing this earlier as well. I said I grew up in a single parent home, and my mom wasn't one of those women that she felt like if you as a man, knowing that these are your children, you don't want to provide or you don't want to help, then God sees everything. He sees everything, and I definitely concur. But again, I think it pushes the us towards the opportunity to talk, to dialogue, to try to get a better understanding. Not sure if that's going to be implemented, but again, that ties into what we're talking about, respecting the power of love. But again, let me come out to my Facebook and see what they chatting about. If they chatting about anything at all. Good evening to you, Blessings. I see you in the house. Blessings is one of those Detroit Lion fans. I know you probably still recovering, but I'm glad you're joining me live here on Facebook and YouTube. So appreciate you coming in. But again, I wish I could have played that song to y'all, but they've been giving these strikes up on here, so I got to come over to TikTok. So yeah, TikTok. I'm gonna see if I can still get y'all up here with me. I need to hear from you. I need to open up this audience and let y'all talk about this, what we're talking about this evening. Give me just a second here. I'm gonna still try and invite people to come on. Somebody told me, and y'all can chat this out on TikTok. They talked about you had to wait 30 minutes before you can actually start coming on live. So again, this is only my second time, but we're gonna make sure we if nothing else, that we get it right. And if you want to come on the platform and talk about this subject, we can. So let's talk about, finish up on the respect and the power of love. Again, that line right there is so powerful. So I want to discuss the ways that love can be powerful. The ways that love can be powerful. I've identified several. It's not, again, a one size fit all, but these are just some of the things that I pointed out. I do believe that one of the ways that love can be powerful, one is accepting yourself as well as others. A lot of people, they talk about, self-care, self-love, and so forth. But do they really truly love themselves? And I think that goes without saying. You can't love anyone else if you don't love yourself. It's impossible. How can you love anyone else when you don't love yourself? You don't have the love to give. So I think it makes it extremely difficult to try to, it's almost like managing someone else when you don't know how to self-manage yourself, first and foremost. So I think that it's extremely difficult to try to manage someone else. Good evening to you, Blow. I see you. Welcome aboard, man. Yeah, we're live right here on Facebook as well as TikTok. We're talking about the song Respecting the Power of Love, and we're talking about ways that love can be powerful. Ways that love can be powerful. And we're just dealing with the first way. And again, one size does not fit all. But one of the first ways, again, is accepting yourself as well as accepting others. A lot of people, again, don't have that self-care, that self-love for themselves for whatever reason. They have low self-esteem. And it is very difficult to try to love someone else. Again, I was just talking about self-management. You cannot self-manage anyone until you learn how to self-manage yourself. Well, love also is included in that as well. Another way is forgiveness. I believe that forgiveness is another way. Forgiveness, I believe, also takes on a desire to love and a desire to be in love. There's another way. And I think that this helps to motivate. I think it helps to motivate an individual who's looking for love, who want to take the steps. So those are just two ways that we're talking about this particular song that was sung by Miss Stephanie Mills, respecting the power of love. Respecting, not disrespecting, but respecting the power of love. So, again, these are just some of the ways that love can be powerful. Accepting others and forgiveness. We don't forgive. It's hard for many of us to forgive. Hard for many of us to forgive. And I don't think, and I think many of us have heard this thing in regards to forgiveness, or forgiving the person, or the person who's done something wrong to you, because it betters your soul. It's not really for them, it's for you to forgive. And we have in the Semitic language a word called Ishan. A lot of times it may not even be about you. It's something that goes or grows that's higher above you to be able to forgive. That individual could be dead wrong. They could be dead wrong. But the one who has the highest Ishan is the one really is a little bit more maturated mentally, more than the other individual. And again, I'm not saying that it's easy, so don't make that mistake. I'm not saying that it's easy. It's very difficult when someone has offended you or disrespected you in such a way that it causes you or derails you from getting, taking you out of your spiritual matters. Because believe me, the devil is always busy and always have a plan to keep you self-centered and thinking about what's going on in the material world surrounding you. And it's hard to get, rise above some of the pettiness that people bring. So, but again, we're talking about the power of love, the power of love. Again, I think one of the third things we can look at, we could talk about is self-growth, self-growth. And what do that simply means? Well, this allows a person to find ways to improve themselves. Yeah, it allows you, self-growth allows you to find ways to improve yourself. It's not, they got all these self-help books that you can read to try to redefine who you are as a person. And if many of y'all ever read the book, the 48 Powers of Law, chapter 25 talks about recreating yourself. It's so true, because one of my favorite sayings I always say by George Bernard Shaw, when he says that my tailor knows me best because he takes my measurements every year while other people continue to go on using the same measurements. Yeah, you may, we all, and nobody's aging backwards. Let's get that understood. That's why I say this is a mature audience platform. No one is aging backwards, and old is the goal. So, whether if you come up through the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, or what have you, no one is aging backwards, and no one may not always be the same exact size as they were in high school, because you may have gained a pound or two. But at the end of the day, it's all about self-growth. Is caused, I believe, by self-love. It's caused by creating your own certain circumstances, your own happiness. Self-growth is so important. That's the reason why when you respect the power of love, man, that's something that I think is innately given to us at birth. The world dumps on us. Yeah, the world says this and we get off the path and we go astray or whatever. But that love is really still rooted in us. We just have to grow it up. Just like with anything, we have to grow it up. You don't plant vegetables in a garden and just leave it, do you? No, you go out there and you fertilize it and you put the nutrients and you add all of the ingredients into that garden because you want that garden to grow. You want it to prosper. You want that garden to advance. Well, the human being is like that too, because it's been best defined that what's put in you will come out of you. So again, respecting the power of love and self-growth is a part of it. Now let's move forward, because we only here, like I say, for an hour and 30 minutes. Hopefully, if I get into this conversation, we can reach that goal this evening. Let's talk about creativity for a second. Remember what we're talking about. Don't forget the topic this evening with the song is I Live to Respect the Power of Love, song by Miss Stephanie Mills. Again, we'll go back over the first line because I think it's a lot of jewels, a lot of wisdom in what she said and what she sung about. But we have to listen, which is one of the reasons why I named the show Metaphors of Love. Are we listening? Are we listening? Because the scriptures talks about listening is an art form. It's an art form. A lot of people think they're listening, but they're not. It's an art form. You got to practice. As much as we talk, as much as we speak, we need to listen as well. So again, number 4, we're talking about creativity. And what is creativity when it comes to the respecting the power of love? Well, for me, and again, one size doesn't fit all. Come up with your own table of contents. But for me, I think creativity is a part of that process as well. We're talking about creativity. Love can expand your mind and inspire you, or should be doing that. It will inspire your creativity. When you are in love with self and you have love to give, it can inspire you to be greater than what you are or what you may think of yourself, especially if you have that those as they say, those created juices or created thoughts. It can definitely do that, because now whatever that idea that you had, that you was thinking about, you have, that motivation, or you want to take those necessary steps to be able to do that. I think love is a part of that creativity to do that. Number 5, I'm going to go with what I call resilience. Yeah, resilience. Because again, I think resilience provides ways to endure. It also strengthens your ability to go through whatever it is that you're going through. Love can also do that. It can provide the resiliency to get you past whatever it is that you're going through. It will strengthen you. It will grant you that ability to get through it. The resilient part of love, that respecting of love. I think that when we look at what's going on in the world today, there's a lot of things out there. I think we all will touch and agree. There's a lot of things out there that will cause you to want to give up on love. A whole lot of things out there that will cause you to want to give up on love. But resiliency, to see yourself on the other side of it, whatever that's affecting you, I think resiliency plays a very powerful role in that. It certainly do. The next thing I think is happiness. I think this goes without saying, because Frank Beverly once had the song "Happy Feelings," right? Happiness, and everybody trying to get to happiness. I think y'all help me out a little bit. The one that did How Stella Got Her Groove Back, when she wrote the book "Get Into Your Happy," get into happiness. I think that's one of the key goals, or the key principles when we talk about respect and the power of love. Happy feelings. Why? Because happy feelings, you got to understand, happy feelings releases a dopamine, as they say, this a higher level of dopamine inside the brain. It's a chemical. And when you're in a happy mood, you in a jovial mood, man, it's kind of like if there's a revival taking place. You have that energy, that energeticness that comes out of you, that pushes you further. That's why love, respecting the power of love, if we all can respect the power of love and try to get to this happiness that's talked about, I certainly believe that it can allow us to continue to level up in life, and it'll allow us to become the best person that we can possibly be. That's all we're trying to do, is maximize our full potential, enabling us to become the best person that we possibly can be. So I think happiness is another key element, or key ingredient, or principle to respecting the power of love. And then I'm gonna stop right here after this last one right here, because there's many others I could give out, but this one right here I think completes the 7-step process. When we're talking about the respect of love, is health. Now I'm saying I gotta make sure that I underline this and make sure that I'm clear in what I'm about to say when we talk about love, power, love, because love can bring on health, and love can bring on certain sicknesses or ailments, or whatever the case may be, if you're out of love. But if you step in love, then it will provide all the previous things that I just mentioned, but it will also provide you with good health. But you have to be selective with the individual, I believe, that's going to allow you to be in a healthy situation. A helpful and healthy situation. So health, again, having a lower risk of anxiety and depression, because it can prevent those things, again, as I just stated, if you're in love with the right individual who's allowing you to have that happiness that you're trying to get to, and it will provide the good health or the great health. And I think that's key. And I think that is the goal. And I think that would also help advance the relationship. So that's a lot right there in and of itself. Again, one size does not fit all. Those are just some steps that I think if you go back, and you can always go over, like I say, to YouTube and replay this back when we finish up here, because we are live on everything. And like I said, I'm streaming on all 3 platforms, and decide to come over here to TikTok. TikTok, I sure appreciate y'all. I'm going to try to still invite people to come up. I want to open this up because I know I got some great feedback. But I truly don't know how TikTok work theirs out here. I wish y'all just everybody run over here to if you got YouTube, or if you just go to the Blac-Vocracy podcast, just like you see it on the program right there, right in front of you. The Blac-Vocracy podcast, you can put it right there on YouTube, okay? Or you can go to my Facebook page. Just go on to Jabril_Rashad, and you'll see that as well. So let me come over here to some of the chats that's been coming out on here on Facebook. Again, I salute you, Curtis. High blessings. She says, oh, when you don't forgive, it makes you physically sick. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And she continues, she says vibrate at a higher frequency. Let me take this down real quick here. Yes, it vibrates at a higher frequency than the person who's hurt or did you wrong. She says, rise above and forgive. Pray for them. Then you'll find that you can love them as Christ forgave and loves you. Yeah. It's all about forgiveness. And we talked about that forgiveness part of it. I truly believe, when the age-old adage says that when you forgive someone, you're not really forgiving them. Although I think that I think, like I said, the word that I mentioned earlier, the Ishan word, the one who has that higher consciousness, state of consciousness, understanding the spiritual matters behind it, we'll be able to understand why they're not only forgiving the individual, but how it also relates to their own, constitution, their own physical makeup, and their soul. So, I think it's a package deal, in other words. But you're absolutely right, though, Blessings. I think that you should be able to forgive and put yourself and your mind, your soul, and everything in a better state. TikTok, can you chat out? So I can, because I don't know. Again, we're trying to figure this thing out, how I can open this thing up, this platform, because I got several people that's on here that I would like to invite to the platform stage. If you want to come up, come on up. If you want to come on YouTube and come on Blac-Vocracy podcast, we could do that as well. Let me, yes. Oh, let me take that one. I think that's when you were first coming on, Blessing. Let me take that one down. Yeah, good evening again to everybody still joining me here on Facebook as well as YouTube. So again, we're still talking about the song earlier, with the respect, the power of love, that was sung by Miss Stephanie Mills. We just covered 7 little quick steps in regards to ways love can be powerful. And there are ways, as I just mentioned, that love can be powerful and should be powerful. Because again, with so much going on in the world today, I mean, why wouldn't you want to surround yourself with like-minded people and people that's because we know what the opposite side of that is when we think about it. What is the opposite side of love? Hate, right? And what did the song say? With Marvin Gaye, he said it back in the early 70s. He said, only love can conquer hate. Only love can conquer hate. Anything outside of that, I mean, is you're taking even more of maybe an unnecessary risk. But only love can conquer hate. So when you hear a song that's being sung with, by Stephanie Mills, and even in the second verse, when she sings so powerfully, said that how she lived to respect, she came to know, she came to grow, and maybe she used a lot of these steps. Maybe she used these steps to create that creativity, that resilience, that had to get to her happiness, that created her own health, to make her feel good about herself, because she came to know and grow and live to respect the power of love. And I think that it's possible when we want to. Now we can sit around and debate all day, whether or not, if I, oh man, I don't have no love for that individual. I don't have no love to give. But I don't think at the base, at the root cause of how we should be growing in the direction that we're trying to go into. No, you have to be able to separate that. You have to be able to separate those individuals out that does not make, or doesn't bring out the best in you. Let me put it like that. I try to personally myself, I try to alleviate myself from those individuals who don't bring out the best in you, because there's a lot of good, I think, in a lot of people. But a lot of times we surround ourselves with individuals who don't, they disrespect the power of love and don't respect the power of love. And herein lies the problem. Yeah, I don't know. Curtis, bless. I'm on Facebook with this one right here, because she's talking about Curtis coming on. Curtis like sitting out in the chat, and commenting in the chat. That's what he do, blessings. That's what he do. I try to get him on before to come on up here. I think he will blow. You more than welcome, man. You're more than welcome. But let me go over to TikTok right quick and see what we're talking about. I'm trying to invite and open this up here. I think I'm just messing it up on TikTok if I hadn't got anybody come on now, because I do know one thing I know about TikTok. They come on. They come on and they talk. Let me scroll down and see. I'm inviting. I will be playing this song again. So just as a reminder for those of y'all who may not been on with me earlier when I was talking about the song itself. Oh, okay. Did you make a mistake, Pacey? How you doing? And good evening to you. At least I know that it's working. It's working. Well, thank you. This is the platform Metaphors of Love while we listening. Did you hit it by accident? You did? You don't have any comments of what we're talking about this evening? Because we're talking about. Oh, you wasn't? Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Well, I can take you back there. That's not a problem. But at least thank you for letting me know that it works. Because this is my second time live doing my show on this particular platform, TikTok. So somebody kept, telling me, asking me to come over to TikTok. I say, man, I've been on there, but I've never done my show live. So I don't know if I'm messing it up, if I'm doing it right. But I appreciate you. Yes, I appreciate you. Whether if it was an accident or not, or you was sitting in the audience listening, I appreciate letting me know that it works. So yes, Facebook, somebody came in. That's how God works sometimes, Yeah, somebody accidentally do something and boom, she came on. Well, I thank you for coming on, Pacey. It works, so I know it's not me. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Okay. All right. Well, Facebook, what we're going to do is we're gonna replay this song. Let's see. You got it. Let me see. Let me see if I can't. We both new to this. Let me see if I can get you off here. Y'all bear with me, Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'm talking to a Pacey. I think I'm pronouncing it correct. Hopefully I'm not messing up. There you go. Okay. So yeah, we are talking about the song this evening that we already played earlier, and I'll play it again in just a second. I live to respect the power of love. I think it's a powerful song. I think that it's a song that's really is at the core of relationships, and not just relationships. I think in terms of when we're speaking about humanity, I I think when we put it within the context of humanity, I think it plays or spells out even a bigger role, because it's all dealing with trying to love your fellow man or your neighbor, as they say. And so we can bring about a universal concept, so we can all try to advance on this one thing that we call planet Earth. So again, I'm gonna play this song again for those of y'all who are still coming on. I want to bring everybody up to date. Again, we're talking about the power of love. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, I'm talking about the power of love. We'll play that song one more time. And again, hopefully by the end, we'll create that, that dialogue. Okay. So bear with me again. Facebook, I gotta take you down because this song right here will. I know y'all caught the end of that. I'm not talking to y'all TikTok. I'm talking to those who are on Facebook, joining me on Facebook Live as well as on YouTube Live. Yeah. And I know somebody chatted out why come they couldn't hear the song. It's because I stated earlier I have to take it down simply because of the situation that goes on with those other platforms that I previously mentioned, where they try to give these strikes. That's why TikTok, I took the show over here to TikTok so we can have a better dialogue when we're talking about these songs that I just played. So again, TikTok, we're talking about the same thing that we've been talking about. And y'all can check out in the comments. Y'all heard it towards the end. We're talking about respecting the power of love. Respecting the power of love. So I pretty much, again, kind of recapping what we talked about, the 7 steps, the ways that love can be powerful. Think about that for just a moment, for a second. The ways that love can be powerful. Think about that. Reflect on that. How do you think that love can be powerful? In a positive way, not in a way that's going to cause pain, heartache, and hurt. I mentioned again, one size does not fit all, but some of the things to get to your own personal happiness starts with the accepting love of yourself, self-love they talk about, as well as accepting love from others, those who share your best interests at heart, not those who are necessarily just, they're casual friends, whatever the case may be. I'm talking about those who have your best interests at heart. Notice I said heart. Yeah, I mean, that's something to really reflect upon. Yeah, how you doing? Good evening to you, Selena. Thank you for joining me here on TikTok. I see you in the building. But yeah, we're talking about this, accepting yourself. I mean, accepting yourself, self-love, as well as being able to have that for yourself, so you're in a position to be able to provide that and give that to someone else. But I think it does require like-minded people who have your best interest, and not someone who's casually just appreciating being around. And what I simply mean by when I talk about having your best interest, that they're not afraid to tell you when you're wrong. They're not afraid to step in and look you in the eyes and let you know that they care about you. They're not there to just stroke your ego. They're there to make sure that you are getting to your happiness. I think that's very important, because far too many times we see people that, you don't know if they have your best interest or not. They're just around, especially if you live in a fluent lifestyle. If you live in a fluent lifestyle, it's hard to really pick them then, because they're around and you don't know the reasons why they're around, why they're staying around. I mean, what's the reason? I think that's a critical discussion that you would have to have with those that's in your circle. Ask them the question. There's nothing wrong with asking an individual, what are you really here for? Especially if you don't see the consistency. You know how they do. They sometimes call you. They call you when everything is going well. They always want to be around. They talking about this, they talking about that. But the minute you start to go through something personal, some type of adversity strikes or comes in your life, they're nowhere to be found. And this happens all the time. That's another reason why I think about when we talked about the self-growth part of it, having an assurance of who you are, to be assured, developing your own spiritual stamina, that you're assured, and then you're secure in your own person, as they say, and you know who you are. Because again, if you don't know who you are, you can't expect for someone else to have a better understanding of you. And because if they do, many people will begin to play on your sentiments, your bad, or what you may think is good. They'll start playing on a lot of that, and they'll start trying to, they'll sit in concealment and will not tell you that, but all along they mean good. So respecting the power of love, man, I can't say it enough. I can't say it enough. Let me go over to the comments over here on Facebook. We got some chatters over here as well. Yes, Bless, she talks about validating yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you have to be able to validate yourself. That's so important as too. You can't become invalid. Everything you say is inconsistent. Everything that you say is inconsistent. Oh, okay. I got somebody that's finally joining me right here, man. I got my man True Blue. I'm gonna bring him up to the stage with me and just kind of fill him in. This guy is he's a warrior within himself, man. Because I know he had to work early this evening, but he's gonna join us right here live on the Metaphors of Love program. Let me bring him to the stage. Good evening to you, my friend.
How you feel, my brother?
Hey, man, it's another great day, another beautiful day. Let me turn this mic down. This is not you. I'm just turning this down a little bit so I'll bring you up to date. I know y'all probably, tired of hearing me speak about this particular song that we're talking about, but we're talking about the song Blue because he just joined us. He want to come to the stage live. He does his own podcast, The Boom Boom Room. And so I know Blue got a lot to say, but Blue, we are talking about Stephanie Mills, the song she sung in the 80s, Living to Respect the Power of Love. Living to respect the power of love. And again, I spoke about the first lines in that song when she says, I was a victim of foolish thinking. Carelessly, I've risked my love and my life. There's no self-pity. I admit I obliged. Overpowered by love, I pretended to be blind. That's in a lot of people, man. That's a powerful, just those words right there. So we're breaking down the metaphors, providing those insights. And so I talked about, I think there are ways, and one size doesn't fit all, Blue. I cover seven, just seven of them. There are many different ways, but I cover 7 ways that I think love can be powerful. And one of those ways I said was the acceptance of self. You have to accept yourself to love yourself before you can give out love to anybody else. And you have to be forgiving of others, because I think it takes the power away from them and it allows you to evolve and to elevate. Then we talked about forgiveness. We talked about self-growth, because you don't want to be the same individual that you was, 20 years ago. Because in the words of the great Muhammad Ali, he said a man who's still doing the same at the age of 50 that he was doing at 20, he's lost 30 years of life, right? So We're talking about this song, the respect and the power of love, because love is so powerful. It's so powerful. So I got to give you a little bit of that background, my brother, because we're on TikTok live.
We good.
As I said, and I don't know how many minutes I can. They tell me giving me a flash sign, but it's all good. But we're live here on Facebook as well. So anyway, that's a little bit of the backdrop I wanted to share with you. And thank you for joining me, coming in hot, as I say, coming in hot. Yeah. So just with that alone, I couldn't play the song on Facebook simply because of the strikes that they give, but I played it on TikTok. That's why I wanted to send it to you to TikTok too, so you can hear that song. But if you remember the Stephanie Mills song, Blue, then you'll know exactly what we're referring to, my brother.
I know about the power of, say, man, I know about the power of love. I ain't doing no tripping. See, let me tell you this, man. They say that money is the root to all evil. Say, man, you better throw love in there too. Cause say, some people will do anything for love. And then they'll do anything to prove they love. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say that you and your lady out and about, and somebody speak to her, or however the case may be. Look who gonna have to prove they love. I love my lady enough that a man can't come up and speak to her. Let me tell you about that, man. I got 24 with mine. Listen, man, I've been through all of that and some. Let me tell you this, man. When a guy approached my lady one time, he spoke to her, and all of that's fine. See, we talked about that years ago. If we ever cross that path, be a lady about any and everything. You know what I'm saying? So when the guy come up, I'm not gonna just immediately get out there bad for many reasons. One reason is you might know this dude, or he might be a classmate, or I'm not the violent type. Listen, man, if I burn my energy and spend my energy squabbling with these guys for speaking to them, it's beyond that, man. But love will make you fight for a woman or stick up for a woman. Well, ma'am, as a woman, if you know how to handle yourself, then it won't be no issue and no concern. Say, man, love is real powerful. People is killing for love. Oh, you think that's real love? See, let me tell you this too, though, man. You got to look at this right here, though. Love is love, and love don't love nobody. All that sound good. Listen, man, I'm all about real love and true love. Stephanie Mears talking about the power of love. So the power of love is real love and true love all in one. Say, man, let me tell you this. I can look back on the relationship that I've had in the past, and I think I used to thought real love and true love was what I had in the past. Say, man, put that together. It's the power of love. Cause let me tell you something, man. Ain't nothing like love. Everybody wants to be loved. Why wouldn't you want to be loved? God didn't put you down and find yourself to just be here, experience this world, man, and experience this life and what it has to offer, and love what it has to offer. But listen, man, real love and true love, it ain't easy. See,
It's not.
respect goes a long way. I kind of think, I'm saying this, man, on my 24, a lot of respect has to do with it. See, it ain't no certain respect. Respect is overall. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna just respect you because you make a lot of money. I'm gonna respect you because you're a man. I'm gonna respect you because you what I love. I'm gonna respect you because you my mate. Say, man, it's hard to get that real love nowadays. If a woman gives you genuine respect, you better hold on to her. Because other than that, and it's an agenda behind it. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
I know about Stephanie Mears and the power of love, man. I'm down with Stephanie though.
Right. Well, I mean, everything you said, it goes to the point of the song in and of itself. I mean, you live to respect the power of love, and again, you know, love cannot be disrespected, but oftentimes that it is, which is one of the reasons why I think music, Soul Child, he wrote this, you know, he wrote the song and sung the song about how love. So many people use the word love in vain because they don't respect the process or respect it. And like I said, I think in order to get to that happiness that they talk about, man, get into happiness, you have to be able to come up with your own table of contents that's going to allow you to, you know, express that internally as well as externally. Because again, your input will eventually define your output. And if you're not pouring good things in you, you can't expect any good thing to come out of you. Because that's why I say, man, hurt people because they have that low self-esteem. They're desensitized because the world sometimes can make you that. The world can give you that desensitization. You know what I mean?
Let me say this to you. Let me show what love is, right? When you shit.
That's okay. I'll let you put it back together, come back to you. He was experiencing a little bit of a issue with his devices and so forth. But again, we're talking about the love part of it. Again, TikTok, I had to go off and come back on. Again, this is the second time being on TikTok live on this particular show. This is, let me recap something right quick. This is the Blac-Vocracy podcast featuring Metaphors of Love. Are we listening? It's a nearly 3-year show that's been running on YouTube as well as Facebook. So I decided to come live over here on TikTok, being the second time. And I thank y'all for coming on and joining me live on TikTok. I'm still trying to figure out the kinks with this TikTok thing and how it goes. So if y'all want to, you know, I invite you to come to the stage or what have you. Want to talk about this? We are talking about the song that I played earlier, Living to Respect the Power of Love, which is by Stephanie Mears. And on this show, it is a mature audience, grown folks conversation that we like to have. So please don't come in with the trolling because we got to get you up out of here. But when we talk about these particular songs, we're talking about the insights, the metaphors, the allegoricals, and we break the song down and try to, you know, make sense of them so we can kind of, you know, hopefully people can get a look at it, implement it in their daily lives. That's what we try to do with this particular platform, on the Blac-Vocracy podcast featuring Metaphors of Love while we listen. So I got my man True Blue over here on Facebook Live again. I want to welcome everybody that's on all of the platforms. But we're talking about it right now with my man True Blue, who's joining me on Facebook Live as well. Again, let me just put one more caveat. If we go back and play another different song, we'll do that, but I have to bring it down off of Facebook. I can only do it on TikTok because of the strikes that they have on Facebook Live. So again, I appreciate all y'all coming in. But go ahead and finish your point. This is my man.
Let me apologize, man, for the, let me apologize for the inconvenience, man, with this phone thing. But let me tell you how powerful love is. When we was young coming up and we had a crush on somebody, can you remember this? I'm pretty sure everybody remember this. Somebody will write you a note. I love you. Do you love me? And you check yes or you check no. That I went way back. Let me tell you something about the power of love. Listen, man, look what's going on today. If a dude is dating a woman and he loves her so much, and man, forgive me and no disrespect on this one. If a guy is talking to her, he'll do something, he'll hurt both of them. He'll shoot both of them or kill both. Say, man, love is driving these cats crazy, man. Listen to all the people. Look how many guys will say, "What, you can't be with nobody else." Listen, man, go on about your business, man. That's love. Now, whatever kind of love it is, I don't know, but you got to have real strong, deep feeling to take her life and whoever she with, or take her life and your life, man. What kind of love is that? That's powerful love, man. I'm not saying if it's real or not, or if it's true or not, but listen, man, love to have drove these men and these women to do all kind and all sorts of things. Say love is real, man.
Yeah, real.
The young generation ain't ready for no real love, man. Let me tell you something. When we was coming up, man, and you felt like you really cut for somebody, curve somebody, you courted them. They didn't belong to you. Now, if you date a guy, you healed. Listen, man, don't answer the phone. That's controlling. And man, love is not controlling and demanding. Love is not selfish. Listen, man, I'm human too. I used to be jealous and all that too. Listen, man, that didn't get me nowhere. That's why I'm still with my 24, man. Let me tell you something, man. Love ain't nothing to play with because it hurt. And you playing with people's feelings. So you know when you get to play with people's feelings, what you get in return.
Yeah, let me say this right
real, man.
Let me say this right quick though, Blue, because we got people on TikTok. I'm still inviting them to come to the stage. They joining us.
Come on with it.
We're basically talking about the song that we broke down earlier. I Live to Respect the Power of Love, by song by Miss Stephanie Mills, and what he's basically talking about how strong love, because love is such a powerful emotion. It's such a powerful emotion, and a lot of people, man, don't know how to learn self-restraint when there's a chemical imbalance to where they lose control of oneself, right? Because they don't know how to offset what they're feeling because it's such a strong emotion. But let me read something that my man Curtis chatted out over here on Facebook Live. He stated that, and I put the comment up. He stated that there's a song by Luther Vandross. He said, if anyone ever have a love can look at me and see I love you. Yeah, I know that song right there. I think that's a remake of the Dionne Warwick song, Curtis. Very powerful classic song too. TikTok, let me hear from you. Let me chat out or let me know, because we want to definitely invite you to the stage, because this is an important conversation that we're having. Again, we're talking about Blue. Also, again, stay with me here about this. We're talking about the ways that love can be powerful, the ways that it can be powerful in a positive way. Let me clarify that, right?
I'm ready, baby.
Love can be powerful in a positive way,
not
in a negative way, if a person has that self-restraint. So what are some of the ways? And I mentioned 3 to you earlier regarding accepting yourself and loving others, forgiveness, as well as self-growth. But you say what?
Love, if you got some real true love, it'll make you respectful. Let me tell you what the power of love has done to me. I can only speak on my end. Love has made me stop ripping and running the streets, man. Love has made me settle down and love what I have. It wasn't easy, but I've been doing it for 24 years. Let me say this, man. Love will take you where you don't want to go. So you better be careful. See, when I was coming up, And I thought I was in love. I was head over heels because I'm thinking I'm in love. Listen, man,
Right.
ain't no dictionary, ain't no book. Ain't tell me what you can go read about love. Tell me, do they got a book you can read on how to love somebody? Ain't no books, man. It's your experience. Experience is your best teacher. Say, man, love is ups and downs. Say, man, love made me stop doing a bunch of things that I used to do. But the realness in it is, if you want to be with this person and you love this person and you care for this person, you'll make some changes. So the power of love made changes in my life for the good. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, man, I can only speak for me. Everybody don't feel the same way. My journey through love, it was hard, and I used to always thought I was in love. The
Right.
power of love, man, will make it. See, since I've been in this thing for 24 years, I done sat back and said, oh, that wasn't love, what I was doing in the past. It's powerful right now, and I'm gonna ride with mine.
Right on. Well, let me do this right quick because I want to play this song here, man, because I try to, when I play a song that's performed by a female artist, I want to try to, contrast that with a male artist or a male group, so to speak, and then vice versa. So since we already did we covered the one with Stephanie Mills, I'm gonna play this one right quick. I'm only gonna get a little bit of a snippet. Blow, I think you appreciate this one, man. Real Love by Lakeside.
By Lakeside.
Play Real Love by Lakeside. Let me see if they have it.
Say, man, I know all about Lakeside.
Alexa, play Real Love by Lakeside.
Let me know when you're ready.
I got to take this down off of Facebook for just a moment. But TikTok, you'll be able to hear this. And I'll come back.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, that's the hit by none other than Lakeside called Real Love. Shout out to my boy Blow, man. That's one of his favorite groups, man, coming up. So yeah, I had to put that in there because we're talking about living to respect the power of love. And if you're respecting the power of love and not disrespecting love, then it becomes real love. And creativity follows real love, because creativity, again, love, it expands your mind and it allows you the ability to be inspired. And you can inspire other people when you're actually having that creative thought. You know, when you're happy and you're in love, it creates, and you're in good health and you're in love, man, it allows you to be able to be more assertive, and your mind is clear, and you can be more transparent in what you're trying to convey to other people. But man, because when you don't have it, you don't have that internal love for self, there's no way, man, you give it to someone else and you wind up becoming more of a hindrance to yourself and other people. So again, Stephanie Mills, this song Lakeside, I think those songs like that, man, when we talk about metaphors of love, are we listening? It's the epitome. It's the epitome of why I do this particular show, this platform. Again, let me bring y'all up to date. If you've never been with me, rocking with me on Metaphors of Love, this is the Blac-Vocracy podcast featuring Metaphors of Love. Are we listening? You can hit the subscribe, like, share, notification button over on YouTube, as well as follow me on Facebook. We've been doing this show nearly 3 years running. Took a little quick brief hiatus for about almost 10, 11 months, but we're back by popular demand. I got my man True Blue, who runs the podcast, the Boom Boom Room, joining me, and he's talking about that. So Blue, you heard the song Real Love, and we're talking about some of the creative ways that we can implement to get to that happiness, to get to that respect, the power of love. So when you hear a song like that, what comes to mind, Blue?
Well, let me see. Look here. When you talk real love,
look at your mic and see if it's unmute your mic if you can.
It's muted. Can you hear me?
Make sure it's I might have to cut you up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Bless my fault.
We good?
Yeah, we good. Go ahead.
Okay, check this out. Say, man, when you talk about love, again, like I said, ain't no manual for it. It's on the job training. Somebody can give you some advice on love. I can give you some advice. Let's say 3 or 4 people give you some advice. At the end of the day, you got to take what all them gave you and put it together. And figure out if you're going to take their advice or you're going to use what's natural. Say, man, love is in your heart. Love has made me, man, let me tell you something. I'm real respectful now. I'm more happier now. I'm more peaceful now. I have a lot of unity and listen, man, real love brings all this about. You ain't going to look up on it, but let me say this to you. I might have looked up on it, man. Because let me tell you something. I have learned so much about love that I don't even take it for granted. Let me tell you something, man. You ask a woman right now on the earth, let's say they on here with us, you in love, yeah? And then that's it. I ain't gonna elaborate on nothing. Respect that and all that. And then off the earth, you in love? Well, now you're debating if you in love off the earth, okay? And then do you feel love? You understand what I'm saying? Listen, right, man, there is no manual for love. Love is used to gain and get whatever they want. All you gotta do is tell a woman, I love you. Well, not like that, but that is used freely now. If you tell a woman or a girl or whoever you tell that's a female that you love them, watch how they gonna respond and treat you. Cause to a woman, that's the ultimate. It's to find a man that loves them or a man that'll say, I love you. Listen, man, if it ain't real, it's an agenda behind it. Some they gonna tell you that to get what they want. They go to church with you and your family to get what they want. They'll take you on vacation to get what they want. That don't mean that's real love or true love. It's just what they want. It's agenda behind it. You'll know real love and you can feel real love. Let me tell you this, man. When I was coming up, I do things for my 24, for my old lady that I never thought I'd do. Listen, man, but when you're in love, you'll make changes for the best. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So I understand Stephanie Mills and I understand Lakeside, man. But I'm down with that real love and the power of love. I'm with you.
Well, check this out. I got a question here on Facebook for everybody, to the listening audience, man. For my man Curtis here, right here, riding with me on the Facebook. And he's asked this question before. And Blue, I'll let you comment it on first, and I'm gonna respond to it because I know he brought this up before, and I don't know if we did it any justice. But he says, I have a question. that we've all been in love. We've all been in love at some point in our life. We've all been in love so many times, so many times. But the question now is, can someone tell me, how do we stay in love? So how do we stay in love? Because I've heard this even in the movie, you know. Can somebody tell me, how do we stay in love?
I'm saying, let me know when I can get started. Let me know, baby. Say,
let me ask TikTok. Y'all come on, I'm gonna invite you up, TikTok. Come on, Smoke. I see you in the house on TikTok. How do we stay in love? How we stay in love, TikTok?
Come on in.
When I send the invitation out there, y'all come on to the stage and
come
help
on
me out.
in.
But meanwhile, I mean, I got to go back and forth here with this YouTube and Facebook. So again, they chatting out in the comment over here on this platform. We also want to get TikTok involved. But you say what to it though? How do we stay there?
Let me know when I can get started.
You
oh, I
ahead.
can't wait. Let's check this out. To stay in love, you got to put in work, man. It don't come easy. Love just ain't gonna fall in your lap. Let me say this, man, again, and I've said this before, I'm not gonna never change my mind. If you want love and real love and true love and the power of love and all that, man, you got to go through God to get it. There's no secret to this thing. You got to get down on your knees and pray to God and tell him you want some real love, you want some powerful love, and you want to stay in love. And you got to work at it, man, because it's not easy. Listen, man, I'm just very, very thankful for what I have and what I went through. You know what I'm saying? But I got it from praying. Seriously, man, let me tell you something. Look at the people that's been together for all these years and they separate. When they separate, they still in love. It's the tolerance level. Say, man, I pray to tolerate mine for 24 more years. You got to pray for it, man. It's not going to just come and be that easy like that. Because, listen, man, there's people outgrow each other. People get tired of each other. Oh, this done played dead on me. This ain't what I want no more. See, let me tell you something about love. When you're in love, everybody want the same thing. For how long? See, men so far, so good. Me and my lady want the same thing for 24 years. So when you fall in love, somebody might want it for 4 years. Somebody might want it for 2 years. So the person that want it for 2 years, they just gonna tolerate it for another 2 years. And then again, you might be tolerating for financial gain. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, man, when it comes to this love and this real love, listen, man, it ain't no joke, and you have to be prepared. As this young generation, they'll never know nothing about real love because they think if they buy a woman a bracelet or a purse, or they trying to buy love. So that's off of there too now. You can't buy no real love. You can't purchase love, man. I mean, you can purchase a good time, but this real love thing, nah.
Can you buy it on discount?
Better ask somebody.
You buy it on discount, can you?
Yeah, you better ask somebody.
Yeah. Well, I think I mean, in terms of the question itself of being asked, me, if I had to point out a few things that you talked about, because you've been in a relationship, been married for 24 years, and like I said, this is coming from live from my man Curtis here on Facebook Live, and he asked that question: how many, everybody's been in love, but how many times have you been in love, and most of all, how do you stay in love? Well, I think what Blue has been talking about, because he got a 24-year marriage relationship, and he talked about one thing it is that you got to work at. You got to work together because everybody's not the same. Everybody's not the same. So to me, that's called refinement. Refinement, Blow.
Yeah.
Refinement. Knowing, as I stated earlier, one of my favorite quotes is that you have to take do your own self-evaluation. You have to vet yourself, and you have to look at yourself every year, because there's 12 months in a year, right? So we're cycling through. Every 12 months, we're cycling through. And we come up with this, happy New Year's, and we make these resolutions and everything. Rather, that's not everybody's actual reality, because again, everybody situation is not the same. One size does not fit all. But I do think, as far as the evaluation part of it, is what I'm talking about. The evaluation part of it, I think, is critical, and we got to apply critical thinking when we're trying to work on ourselves. Because one of the things I mentioned about in this particular song, Respect the Power of Love, was self-growth. Self-growth. You have to be growing, because if you're not growing, then you stagnated. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you read, what shows you watch, what platforms you apply yourself to. You have to be growing, because if you're not growing, then you become stagnated intellectually. So the self-growth allows a person to find ways to improve upon themselves. And these are critical steps, man, that a lot of people don't want to take. If you're not refining yourself and not getting better, then you're, like I stated earlier, when the great Muhammad Ali said, if a man is doing the same thing at 50 that he was doing at 20, he's lost 30 years of life. So I think that's so powerful for a platform like this, Metaphors of Love, while we listening. I think it's critical. I think it's so important. So when you ask the question, Curtis, when you ask the question, Blow, about how do we stay in love, work, as Blue mentioned, I think it's something that you really have to work at it, because I think marriage, a relationship, is like a contract. You know, some contracts can be voided. You know what I'm saying? Some of them can be voided, and you have to be able to honor the contract or the agreement, whether if it's put on paper or not. I'm just saying, when you go get a marriage license or whatever, they got words that's on that paper, and the minister or whoever married you guys or brought you all together, he's saying certain things, and you're making an agreement in front of the public, right? So for public viewing or what have you. So I think it's a day-to-day thing. Again, one size doesn't fit all. I think there's a lot of different ways that individuals can look at their own personal situation and evaluate that situation and try to make that situation better. I don't try to, because what may work for you, Blue, may not work for me, and what works for me may not work for you.
Hold up, don't do that. Let me back up. And when you say that it ain't gonna work for you, I kind of believe that, but I know you on the flip side. So I know, try prayer and see if it don't work.
Oh, it works all the time.
Okay, then.
You don't get no argument out of me. Blue is talking about, y'all heard him on TikTok. He's talking about prayer. I think that's the foundation. It's the cornerstone. Prayer is the cornerstone to everything. First of all, the cornerstone, the first cornerstone to love, relationship, anything, is the fear of God.
Yes.
See, the fear of God, because that's consciousness. Because when you become God conscious, it automatically follows that prayer will be next. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to acknowledge the greater than what's on your mind. God is the greater than anything we have on our minds. So you're absolutely right. To be God conscious, the fear of God, that's the cornerstone to any man's wisdom, first and foremost. Then it follows prayer. And then you need, after you come out of that prayer, you get back into the material part of this thing we call life. Then you start having to implementing those things in society. I think it goes hand in hand. It can't be, opposite. It has to start with God first, right? That consciousness first. Because once you get into that, then you're able to kind of start matriculating down and how you want to implement that, not only in your household, but when you're leaving the threshold of your household, your front door, take that with you into society. And then you be a blessing to someone else and be that example. But again, you got to want to do the work, man. And a lot of people don't necessarily want to do the work, because right now, man, what is it? I don't know what to do. I think the divorce rate is about, last I checked, I think like 62% just in the African American household. So we have a very, very high divorce rate in our own community, a very high divorce rate. And people are looking at these numbers as though it's not it's an epidemic. It may not be a pandemic, but that depends on if you are surveying all the other ethnic groups around the world. But charity does start at home first, then it spreads it spreads around. I'm simply saying, when we look within our own backyard, our own community, I meant to say abroad. Yeah, charity starts at home, then it spreads abroad. But when we look within our own community, right? I'm not worried about everybody else. I got to start with me first. I got to start with mine first. I got to be, self-preservation first. They say put the mask on you on the airplane first. They don't even tell you to put the airplane on the child. They say put it on you first. So you got to start with self-preservation. So let me start in my own backyard and deal with my own community first and look at the numbers. Then we'll work from there. And if we can come to the table of humanity to give some type of information that other people can benefit from, then cool. If you can learn from that. But
Well, let me tell you,
we got to do it first.
Let me say this, man. So we talking about love, right? Good topic and everything. Listen, man, you supposed to just love one person. Nowadays, they want to love 2, 3, and 4 people. Listen, man, I have heard what is it like to be in love with 2 people. That's how it done got. Love don't have no respect no more, man. Love is not cherished no more. You understand what I'm saying? It's because, man, as times go on, people start having their own definition of love. They respect love whenever they see fit. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me give an example. I like this man, but I love this man. Okay, the guy that you like is a gentleman, but the guy you love got a bunch of paper. You understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
you gonna love, you ain't gonna love what love you. You gonna love that paper. You're not gonna, you understand what I'm saying? Cause listen, man, the world is so materialistic, man, that when you do something for a woman, they consider that love. They have no idea, man. It's a trap. It's an agenda. You got to see. Let me tell you something. When you get married, I'm gonna give you an example. Every woman quick to show off their ring, right? Okay.
Right.
Let's say you get married and he don't get you no ring. Would you still marry him? Would you still love it?
Or would you still marry him if he don't have the dower? That's what we're talking about when you give him a woman.
If he don't get you a ring, would you still go to the altar with this man? That's love, man. Cause don't let no ring.
I need to ask the ladies out here on TikTok. I need to ask them on TikTok if the man don't have the dower, DOWER. That's something that if he asks you for your hand in marriage, they say you should give a dower, right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't present the dower, will you still marry him if he's not financially in a position to give you the dower? And just be honest about that. I mean, because that's what you're basically saying. Would you still be able to go through with it if he's not in a position to give you the dower? Now, I have heard, and I'll let you finish your point, Blue, but I've heard in the past individuals who won't marry an individual because they feel as though if he can't afford the dower, then how can he afford to be in a relationship?
Let me tell you this though. These women are so material. Listen, man, that's why I love mine. These women are so materialistic that, let's say you get her a ring and you accidentally show it to her, and then you look at the expression on her face.
Want to welcome in Valerie. Valerie, welcome in. I see you. I hear you, Blue. Go ahead.
Listen, so when she look at you and look how small the ring is, it's a problem. Or you don't love me, or you really don't love me, or we've been together for 7 years, and that's the kind of ring you got me. Man, listen, be thankful that you got a ring. Be grateful that, because it's more than to marriage and love and a relationship than that materialistic ass ring you got. Because guess what? You can lose it, you can misplace it, or you can punt. It ain't yours.
Yeah, right on. Well, hold on, Blue.
Man,
let me
don't
put you
let
on.
nothing materialistic describe or define your relationship, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on, Blue. Let me take you down for a second. I got Val. She joining me, man, on TikTok live. Val, go ahead. Well, I don't know if she was looking to do that. But anyway, no, you absolutely right in what you're saying, though, Blue. You absolutely right in what you're saying. I think it has a lot, to do with the individual's potential. I think it has a lot to do with where the individual's trying to go. I also believe that if that person is showing you that there are other certain qualities about him that's kind of like some of the things that I mentioned about the ways that love can be powerful. You have to be able to see that. You have to be able to identify with that. Let me get over here in the comments in the chat, because I don't want to forget about, because Blessing, she says, yep, you got to do the work. She says, absolutely, you got to do the work, just like you work hard at your job. Yeah. And and it's craziness if an individuals don't see that or don't think that way. Curtis, I don't know if that answers some of the questions that you have as far as staying in love, because again, One side does not fit all. What may work for some may not work for others. But at the same time, there is an underlying base that we have or should have. Let me say it like that when we're identifying love, because I think one of the biggest things, as we played the song earlier from Stephanie Mills, is the respect factor. Because once the respect is gone, usually the love and the relationship is gone, or it collapses because there's no respect. But again, I got to say this again because, man, it's just something about the opening of that song when she says, I was a victim, past tense, I was a victim. Meaning she done went through it, of my foolish thinking. That's the causation, that's the cause, and that's the effect. It was her foolish thinking, and she was careless. Because she says, carelessly, I've risked my love and my life. There's no self-pity. She's not, she's not having any type of falling out in the floor or anything like that, type moments. There's no self-pity. She said, I admit, I obliged. She was in an agreement with herself, but she was overpowered by love, and she intended to be blind, given that false appearance. Not that she was blind. As they say, love can make you blind, or don't become blinded, don't become emotionally blinded by love. She said, I pretended to be blind. I pretended to be false and what have you. But again, we was talking about it last week, Blue. We talked about you'll never know when you first meet a person. They always say you meet the person representative, right? And everybody is kind of coming with something, but are you getting the full disclosure that you need from this individual? A lot of times you're not. So again, there's a lot of false pretense that's there. But one thing about love, it will show you. It's kind of like the song, who sung the song? Diana Ross. She had the song, I was so wrong. I'm thinking the name of it. I forget the name of it, but it has to do with love. I was so sure. Oh, but love taught me who's the boss. That's what the song is. She said, I was so sure, but love taught me who's the boss. And that's what love would do sometimes. You think you're outmaneuvering love when love is really outmaneuvering you. And love will show you. It will show you who's the boss if you don't respect it. Because God is going to give you maybe one, maybe two opportunities. But when you think you can go do it on your own and you don't respect the power of love, then it becomes a disrespect. And you'll never get through the ways that love can be powerful. You'll never get through accepting love for yourself and for others. You'll never get to forgiveness. You'll never get to self-growth. You'll never get to creativity. You'll never get to resilience. You'll never get to happiness. And you'll never get to having great health because you did not respect love and the power thereof. So again, there's a lot to continue to cover, man, on this particular subject, but we got, unfortunately, man, get ready to wrap this show up, man. I want to appreciate, and I'm gonna let you get this word in on it, Blue. I just want to make sure, man, that I'm talking to my TikTok followers, man, and those who came on live with me here this evening. To recapture again, we did the Stephanie Mills song. This is the Metaphors of Love. Are we listening on the Blac-Vocracy podcast? So, Blue, channel in on that right quick, man. We want as we wrapping the show up, and if you want to pick it back still on how do we stay together to continue,
I'm with you.
Do so.
Okay, let me say this though. So once you fall in love, what else do you want after relationship? That's a
Let me ask you that question. Let me ask Blow that question. Hey, Curtis. Hey, he said, how many women you told you loved them, Blue, back in the day? That's a question for you, Blue. But ask him the question that you just asked.
What?
Yeah, I might even ask TikTok that, because TikTok, we're talking about. Say, no, you ask the question again, Blue, so I can put it up on TikTok.
Once you fall in love, what else do you want?
Okay, let me put that up there. Once you fall in love, what else do you want?
Let me say something.
Go ahead, while you're asking.
Everybody wants to be in love. Once you get it, now what? Or then what? You challenging all your energy to what now? Let me tell you something, man, about love, though, real. Sometimes Love can be bad for your health. Let me give you an example. You can date somebody and you're always nervous and you never comfortable around this person. So that when you go that route, let me tell you what that is. That means I'm not saying that person ain't good for you, but that person is bad for your health. You don't start losing weight. You can't eat. You can't sleep. You're not comfortable no more. You're not relaxed. All because it's something in you that makes you feel that some just ain't right. I've been through that, man. I thought I was so in love, but when I got around this person, man, I was not comfortable. When I say not comfortable, everything they said, I was the John on the spot. Everything they did, I'm John on the spot. And I didn't get that in return. You can't make nobody love you, man. I learned that a long time ago. You can't make nobody love you because of what you got. Love is real. Love comes from the heart, man. When you find yourself doing things that you ain't never did or saying things you ain't never said, I'm gonna give you an example, man. I knew I was down for my old lady when I started going to church with her, man. I started knowing how I was with my old lady when I started holding her hand in public, man. And let me tell you something, man. Not that I was too proud, but that grew on me. That I'm so proud of what I got. And listen, I stuck my little chest out too, though. Grabbed her by her hand, and we went on about our merry way, and we've been doing this thing for 24 years.
Right
So
on.
once you get love, what else do you want? I'm curious. Do you want a car? Do you want a house? Say, look what they were saying. Well, look what a woman tell you in a minute. Love don't pay. Well, baby, I love you, baby. Please don't. Just let us try to work this thing out. Love don't pay no bills. You don't hear me? They'll pull that on you. So listen, man. All y'all want to know about this love thing is on the job training. It's your experience. Your experience is your best teacher. Can't nobody tell you about love. They can give you some advice about it. You're gonna have to go through it yourself. And my advice to anybody that's looking for some real, true love, you got to get down on your knees and talk to God.
Well, in all fairness to my man Curtis Blow, he said that's not love, bro. And I think I don't know whatever exactly specifically that he's purporting to referring to, but he said that he was married for 23 years, and again, it goes back to what I stated earlier. One size does not fit all, because what may work for some may not work for others, and at the same time, there are certain things that some men will accept that other men won't accept, and vice versa.
Yeah.
These things happen. But
Yeah.
as it talked about, when you really want to try to get to happy, we talked about happy feelings. We know when Frankie Beverly and May, he sung that song Happy Feelings. He talked about the again, it releases a higher dopamine from the brain, the chemical, right? It releases a higher level of that, which allows you to be more energetic towards love. You have a more positive attitude towards love. But if you're in a relationship, man, that you're not really feeling individual, it's like they bring down your energy too. It does not release that dopamine. It releases another type of chemical, which drags you down in your even through your subconscious thinking. That's one of the reasons why, man, when you do find someone or find that individual, man, that you can grow with, be happy with, be self-assured with, you have to really work on the things that got you there. Because the song when it said the same thing it took to get your baby hooked is gonna take the same thing. That was by the Independence. Now let me remind you, the same thing it took to get your baby hooked is gonna take. Remember that, ladies out there on TikTok. The same thing it took to get your man hooked is gonna take the same thing. And I'll say the same thing with the men. The same thing it took to get her, it's gonna take the same thing more than likely to keep her. Now you all both can evolve together, but that starts with what they talk about all the time: communication. And again, if you're not communicating, it becomes stagnated, then you're dead. You're dead. You just is. It's no other way of looking at it, man. Because we are, as human beings, we're made up of words. Think about it, man. Every creature has its own mode of prayer and knows its own mode of communication. So again, we have to be cognizant of that. We have to think about that. We have to be conscious of that. And a lot of times, man, we take that for granted. We take the individual for granted. We look at the individual and just assume that they're the same person you met 10 years prior or 20 years prior, and they're not. They've been growing. Why do that happen? Well, because you decided not to pull out the measurements, and I'm speaking metaphorically, right? You didn't take the measurements of the individual and process where they are today. Because we all evolve. Every 7 years we evolve, and man, 7 is a symbolic number. It represents perfection. So we're all evolving every 7 years. And if you're not evolving, again, you're stagnated and you're not going to go anywhere with that. So I'm just going to say it like this. I got them chatting out here still on TikTok, and we're about to wrap this thing up. Man, I'm really way over in where we are. But again, we're going to be back again, Blue. Man, I so appreciate you, bro. I so appreciate you. Y'all stay with us, man. Every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, we're going to be back here talking about Metaphors of Love. Are we listening on the Blac-Vocracy podcast? Or I should say the Blac-Vocracy podcast featuring Metaphors of Love. Are we listening? Because that's how we're going to do it. This is a grown folks conversation. You know, don't forget to tell a friend, invite a friend. I want y'all to come back on. We're going to get into these R&B songs. We're going to try to make sense of them some kind of way, because I think we need to get back to the basics. We got to get back to the basics. We got to get back to the fundamental thing of love, so we can kind of look at these numbers and hopefully be able to try to bring them down. And I think having these types of conversations, this is not the only one. I'm always applauding. I might be on somebody else's platform when they're talking about it, because I don't think one size does not fit all. And I think we all need to be, tossing our hat in the ring and trying to figure this thing out. So I'm gonna shout out to Emily, who's not with us this evening. I know it's kind of cold out there, and y'all know the song that says, "When it's cold outside, who are you holding?" I don't know who you're holding, you know what I'm saying? But it is cold outside, Curtis. So I can't really answer that, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, don't y'all forget to hit that like, the share, and the notification button for me, and continue to tell a friend. We're back on the Blac-Vocracy featuring Metaphors of Love. So I want to, again, thank y'all for hopping on with your boy. We're going to come back with another one, and I look forward to bringing y'all more and more topics and dialogue, and that's how we're going to do it. So big shout out to my man, True Blue. Don't forget to check him out on his Boom Boom Room podcast that he's still working on and building, and we're going to show him some love as well. So I thank y'all for coming on with me. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Try to stay warm, drink you a lot of hot chocolate, and be blessed. This has been the Metaphors of Love.